Chapter 10 Revolution of Magic. Disclaimer. Now that The Legend of Everfree and the Season 6 finale came out, I had to make a few tweaks to the story, so let's hope that the new releases do not interfere with any of my original intentions. Interior, Starlight's research room, Crystal Prep Academy, the city, night. Starlight, in her regular clothes and a lab coat, had succeeded at taking Twilight's mechanical amulet and added them to her own invention. She just completed another added systems check. Everything seems to be working just fine with the new parts added to them. She delivers another one for her evil smiles. Later on, she starts connecting pieces of the device and welds them together. She then switches on her computer for another one for feeder logs. Feeder log 32. The final systems test was a complete success. The particle accelerator is operating perfectly. The interdimensional theories have been acknowledged, reinforcement has been established, and the systems have accepted the new parts. I have taken the liberty of putting the pieces together. It is ready. Now it is time for it to go through the final test. And it's the moment of truth. For tonight, everything is about to change. The device is composed of a saucer plate, very similar to the inside of Twilight's spectrometer, with the miniature particle accelerator in the center. The bottom of the saucer is attached to a mechanical based on an activation switch. Starlight connects several cables to the device. Some come from the walls, some go outside the window and into school's power grid, and a few are connected to computers and several separate machines for reading. She then puts on her safety goggles. Let us begin. She's about to press the activation button, but stops halfway. Oops, silly me. Almost forgot. The finishing touch. She opens a box on her desk and picks up a flat metal disc-like ring, with four light stems sticking out of one side and yellow and black caution stripes painted on the other. She places the ring, stems down, and in the center of the device and saucer and twists it on. Better be careful. Without this safety bar, who knows what catastrophes this little gadget can bring. Now then, Starlight then presses the button on the device and the little machine is turned on. The lights on it start glowing upward green. The little particle accelerator begins speeding up at a very fast pace. The machine starts making a humming sound, and the buttons on the computers are moving up. The lights that are on in the school start flickering on and off. Even the janitor is perplexed. Energy starts sparking and emitting in the center of the saucer, particle accelerator, and safety bar. The energy glows brighter and begins to form into a small vortex. Starlight starts to smile with excitement. External, Crystal Prep Academy. From outside the school, the bright lights can be seen flickering from Starlight's little window. Then suddenly, a ball of white light and sparkles, one of many traces of Equestria magic that leaked to the human world from the crack in the portal made during the Midnight Sparkle attack, as seen at the end of The Legend of Everfree, which I have not seen, is flying overhead above the school. Then it starts to be drawn to Crystal Prep, towards the flickering lights. Internal, Starlight's research room, Crystal Prep Academy. Starlight goes on the computer and flips a few switches to keep her little reactor going. Yes! Yes! It's working! I have come too far to fail now. In her excitement, she looks out the window and sees the ball of light. What is that? The magic orb flies through the window and into the device. The light flashes even brighter than before. Starlight has to shield her eyes. When the light begins to go down, Starlight moves her arms and then removes her goggles as she looks at the device with amazement. The portal is functioning as she wanted. She looks at the computers and machines and sees that everything is operating perfectly. I don't believe it. It worked. The strange light. It's as if the bizarre energy I was looking came from the same source. The spectrograph capture functions must have drawn that energy straight to it. Perfect. She looks at the computers. Good. I scouted the energy as planned. The mini portal opens through dimensions and reveals the other side as some form of window to another world. Sal looks into it and shows her an overhead view of Ponyville and Equestria. What's this? Is this a source of the anomalies I was looking for? Then a great pack is pointing with a blonde mane and tail, and an image of Bubbles on his flank. Derpy. Muffins appears flying in the foreground of the viewing portal, facing the opposite direction. Starlight looks closely as it turns his head around, revealing to be the pony version of Derpy, with her yellow wall eyes. Starlight notices Derpy's smiling wave to something out of view, and is reminded of the human Derpy waving at her during the Candlelit High incident. Starlight is surprised at the similarities. What? Still in shock at this development, she slowly moves her hand closer to the vortex. When touching it, a large voltage of electrical type energy blasts into her, causing her to fly back. External Ponyville, Equestria Day. In the skies above Ponyville, a spark of energy from Starlight's touch of the port appears behind Derpy. She hears a sound and makes and turns around to see what it is. But it only flashes an instant and disappears right before Derpy turned around. So she shrugs it off as nothing and flies off. Internal, Starlight's research room, Crystal Prep Academy, the city, human world, night. Starlight is on the floor, flailing and twitching in pain as the strange energy surges through her entire body. During her struggles, she sees that white glowing magical auras, the kind that can be seen on unicorn horns, have appeared on both of her hands. Then the auras change colors from white to turquoise. But Starlight is still tossing and turning from her continuing agony. The lights from the energy currents are getting brighter, and a large gust of wind appears, blowing a few pages around the room. Papers around the room. Close-up view of her eyes as the current is shown within them, while she keeps screaming. Cue dream sequence. Starlight is no longer in Crystal Prep, but is intently in utter blackness. Where am I? What's going on? Then, from a flash of light, she is now in the middle of Ponyville, with dozens of ponies roaming all around her. They are just going on with their lives, not noticing Starlight at all. Something just phased through her, as if she was a specter to them. What is this place? Are these all horses? She is by Sugar Cue Corner, as a few ponies leave with sweets, Mr. and Miss Cake are seeing them out. Thanks for coming, every pony. Come back soon. Ponies. I was close. Then suddenly the entire scenery starts to move all around Starlight. Then she stops right in front of Princess Twilight's castle. She looks at the large crystal tree with amazement. Then the main 6 ponies, plus a baby dragon and friend Spike, come out the door. Starlight looks at them and recognizes them as the humane set from Candlelit High. Starlight, come on, we're all waiting for you. Coming. Starlight's surprised to hear her own name being used. A 7th pony is standing at the top of the steps. She is light purple with a regular purple tail with an aquamarine streak, and a mark on her flank similar to the star image of Starlight's skirt. But her face is covered by the shadow from inside. Starlight is anxious to see Mystery walking out. Before she can see his face, the entire scenery starts moving again. She can see traveling a long distance with such swiftness. When it stops again, Starlight is in front of the Crystal Empire. She marvels at the sight of the Empire, but then hovers to see it all crumple to the ground, and Crystal Prep rising in its place. She then notices 2 points in front of the school. They turn their heads to her, revealing themselves to be Shining Armor Princess Cadence, the pony counterpart of Dean Cadence, looking depressed. Dean Cadence? Shining Armor? She looks behind herself and sees the human Twilight with her back facing her. Twilight? Twilight then transforms into silhouette midnight sparkle. She laughs menacingly, with only the glow of her eyes, mouth, and flaming glasses frame showing. Starlight looks backs away from her in fear. She turns around and sees a mysterious dark figure of a humanoid character, with what seemed to be a glowing eco sign floating above his open hand, and the light shining out of his circular glasses lens. Starlight excited to see stranger, as if she recognizes him. As she runs towards it, he moves into the dark mist and disappears. Starlight is disappointed, but then the stranger appears behind her. When she runs towards it, it disappears in the mist again. As she gets to press once again, the mist clears behind her, revealing another Starlight glowing with an evil grin standing behind her. The second Starlight passes and tags the first Starlight to the ground. The 2 struggle until the first Starlight is able to slip in and kick the second's face. As they both get up, the second Starlight's face starts cracking up and the pieces fall off her face. She turns her head to face the real Starlight, revealing Principal Cinch's face in a broken half. Starlight sees this in terror. You said we should all be the same. They walk towards Starlight, along with other students of Crystal Prep, all coming out the mist behind it. Starlight is forced to step back from being overwhelmed by the massive numbers marching towards her. No, stay back. I'm warning you. Don't come any closer. But they just keep coming. Starlight just keeps backing off. They are beckoning Starlight towards the ledge just right behind her. She takes one step too far and falls over the edge. During the fall, she sees a gigantic crystal heart right below her, which shines with Starlight's key mark in the center. When she hits the heart, it shatters, and Starlight continues falling down a rainbow vortex. The same kind that connects the Equestria to the human world in the other films. No! In dream sequence. It is nothing but total blackness, until the sounds of birds can be heard. First person view, Starlight. She tries to open her eyes and sees the clear morning sky and birds flying overhead. In first person view. Starlight wakes up somewhere outside, somehow. She then tries to get up. Morning? But what happened? And how did I get out here? She jumps off of whatever she's laying on and stands on some kind of slant. And when she loses her balance and starts rolling down. When she gets to the end, she quickly grabs hold of the ledge. She didn't realize she is hanging on for her life on the edge of the roof of Crystal Prep. How did I get up here? Help! Somebody help! Oh, who am I kidding? It's Saturday. Nobody's here. Okay, calm down, Starlight. You're probably still dreaming. She loses grip on one of her hands. Now she starts to panic. If this is a dream, that would be a good time to wake up. She loses her grip and starts to fall. She sees the ground coming closer, and she sees her eyes with their forearms. No! Then her hands glow in the same magical aquamarine aura, and are entirely surrounded by it. Suddenly, she stops falling. She moves her arms and is surprised to see that she is now floating in mid-air just a foot above the ground. She looks at the strange magical aura around her and her hands, but then the magic turns off and Starlight falls to the ground. Boom. As she gets up, she ponders at what has occurred. What just happened? She then sees the open window and a large cable go into her lap. The project! She starts running. Maybe we'll have any answers about... Her hands start glowing again, and Starlight completes its business of magic flash. Interior, exterior, Starlight's research room. The room is a bit of a mess from last night. Starlight teleported there in an instant. All of this... She gets confused on how she got there. But then she focuses on readouts on her computer from last night's experiment, and is impressed on what she sees. Incredible. She looks at the device, removes all the cables from it, and presses the switch again. It seems to be working perfectly. The lights are working, energy is being manifested, the accelerator is spinning, and a small dimensional window to Equestria is opened. Excited to figure it out, she looks for it to tweak it a bit. She found that it is between a desk and a cabinet. She reaches out her arm in the crevice to get it. Just then, her hand starts to glow again. An aura surrounds the tool, and it flies into her hand. Surprised again, she looks at her hand holding the tool. She tries to concentrate, and she starts casting magic again, making the tool float. She then looks at the mess in the room, and tries using magic to remove everything and clean it up. Papers are coming off the floor, tools are flying into their drawers, and the devices and weapons Starlight made goes back on the tables. After it is all clean, Starlight backs up and leads on the door, trying to process all of this. But then her magic got on a spot on the door behind her, and she falls through it, facing to the door and into the halls. She gets up and looks at her hands. She tries concentrating again, begging the auras appear on her hands, and gets teleported. Exterior, courtyard, Crystal Prep Academy. She reappears on the front lawn and smiles with excitement. She keeps teleporting all over the courtyard and enjoying it. She then starts forming energy to her hands into an orb. She waves her hand forward and it becomes a magical energy beam. When it hits the ground, a large crystal miraculously grows in its place. Delighted at this, she keeps shooting beams again and again, making more crystals. Whoa! This is so cool! In excitement, she shoots another beam at one of the crystals, causing it to explode into pieces. Whoa, gotta be careful with that one. I just can't believe this is happening to me. As she's looking at the magic, she only takes one step, and the next thing she knows, she seems all the way to the other side of the courtyard. She sees back and forth from one side of the lawn to the other, just for the fun of it. She smiles with determination, as she fires a magic beam at the surrounding wall of the school, creating a magic spot on the wall. Then she super speeds into the spot, facing to the wall, and runs toward it through the streets. She runs through the city, turning at every street corner she comes by. During her excitement, she sees a moving truck heading towards her and she freaks out. The magic surrounds her again and she jumps over the bus, flying through the air. She soars into the sky, flying so high over the buildings. She races even higher. She passes over the clouds, and the city is so far beneath her. She starts soaking up the rays of the sun, but she loses focus. The magic turns off, and she starts to fall. She is over 1,000 feet in the air, and she is screaming and flailing on the way down. Her hand starts to glow, and she is emitting in a magic flash. When she hits one of the clouds, she stops falling. She is once again amazed to know she is flying on a cloud as if it was solid. She stands on it and starts running, hopping from cloud to cloud. When she gets to the end with the same kind of confidence, she jumps off and uses her magic to fly to the city. She soars towards a nearby park. She crosses over its lake. She slots her fingers on the surface of the water as she flies by. She looks at her reflection as the ripples in the water mess with it into what Starlight swore to be an outline of a pony. This freaks her out, and the aura around her disappears. She's about to hit the water, until in a quick reaction, she uses her magic to cast herself inside a bubble shield. The shield bounces across the lake and continues when it gets to shore. Then it stops when it collides with a nearby tree. Starlight looks at the shield with wonder, before making it disappear and lie on the ground to relax. She looks at the ground next to her, reaches her hand out, and uses her magic to make a flower grow. She picks the flower and examines it. If this really is a dream, I never want to wake up from it. Interior, Starlight's research room, Crystal Prep Academy. Starlight's on another video log, working on some sort of high-tech harness with special cables sticking out of it. Video log 34. Like I said in the last video, the scene's experiment had an interesting side effect. By touching the bizarre energy, I have been infused by its strange properties. Now I can manipulate it at will. She forms this shifting energy, flowing above her hand. I have been practicing with it non-stop today. I am astounded at what I can do with it. I can teleport, move at super fast speed, and I can fly. I don't know what it is, but I like it. Whatever that strange butterfly was that came out of the sky, it must have been the cause for the side effect. I've checked the readings, and my little machine isn't just collecting power from the other dimension, but it is also generating it, making more of it. Clean, sustainable energy, which I have been using to power my other device. Just think of the possibilities for such a source of power. I know I have. I have just found out that every time I touch this new energy, it enhances my newfound abilities by an exquisite amount. But not for very long. The whole other world will close on its own when it's left open for too long, and my power boost goes with it. I have time to use contraction. 5 minutes. That's how long it takes. That's why I designed this special harness. All I have to do is put it on, attach these cables to my wrists and ankles, and hook my mini reactor under these. That way, all I have to do is switch it on, and the energy will flow through the cables, and I can enhance my powers whenever I want. But I must be careful. She twists off the safety plate from the device. I built the safety bar to steady energy flow seeping into our world. It must stay on at all times. If not, then the energy begins overflowing. The power would be too great for any physical body to handle. So if my calculations are correct, if I ever touch it without the bar, then I will suck up so much massive energy pouring out, it will destroy me. Despite this little setback, I can practically do anything. Even change this miserable school for the better. This new development will fit perfectly with my plans for Crystal Prep. That old cinch to which will have to bend to my will. In fact, she'll have no choice. She turns off the camera. External parking lot, Crystal Prep Academy, Monday morning. Principal Central is up to her usual parking space. She's about to enter the school until something catches her eye. She is appalled to see the dumpster filled with Crystal Prep and Shadow Bolts banners and posters, trophies and medals, and framed pictures of past victories. She looks down the dumpster in total shock. What is all this? Then she furiously rushes into the school. Internal hallways, Crystal Prep Academy. Cinch looks around and sees that the banners and posters have been replaced by those of white with nothing but black equal signs on them, and that the trophy cases are completely empty, with nothing but a few picture frames with pictures of an equal sign. The students are mostly confused about all this as well. Great wickering stallion! Or, Great wickering stallion! Cinch hears his cries coming from the classroom. She enters the room to see what the problem is. What's going on here? It's these textbooks! Look at them! He gives her a textbook to examine it. Seems fine to her until she opens it. She is caught off guard to find that there is nothing pages except an equal sign. She flips the pages and they're all the same. Then she picks up another textbook to find the same equal sign on each page. She goes to the others and finds the same thing. Shocked about this development, she hears another cry. She leaves the classroom and goes to another. She gets surprised when the math teacher shows her this pulled-down chart with nothing but an equal sign on it. Cinch steps out into the hallways, even more confused than before, along with other students, especially the Shadow 5. Interior, main foyer, Crystal Prep Academy. While a few students and faculty members are trying to figure out what's going on, Dean Kane is on her cell phone. Yes. I see. Okay. I understand. The principal Cinch approaches her. Think, Cadence, what is the meaning of this? Who authorized all of this? You did. Hello, this is Principal Cinch. What? What signature? I make no such approval. I did? I see. Well, thank you. Goodbye. She hangs up her shot and gives it back to Cadence. They said I filled out a request form about this as a school event and faxed it with my signature on it. And to top it off, they said I called them personally about it. I don't understand. How could all this have happened? She suddenly gets an epiphany and slowly changes her expression to furious. Glimmer. On the top of the first flight of stairs, Starlight with her school uniform on uses an air horn and stirs everyone at the bottom. They all look up and see her with a type of two-pronged wooden staff tied to her back. Hear me, my fellow classmates. I have a very important announcement to make. Today is a day for celebration. For today, we surrender what it means that makes you special, and be grateful for what you're supposed to be. As the crowd of students is confused, Cinch becomes distressed and walks up to Starlight. Now you listen here, young lady. I will not stand for this ridiculous... You gave your word. She holds her finger near the phone, and Cinch just steps out of fright. Then Cinch stands down with dissatisfaction and walks up the stairs while Starlight walks down, besides her. Starlight hands her a slip of paper. Here's a copy of the request form, with your signature. Cinch just stares at her bed and continues up the stairs, while Starlight stays on the halfway step, facing the crowd. Pay no mind to that. Not like you can trust her with it. Cinch just stops on top of the first flight, forced to listen to whatever Starlight has to say. You've looked up to blind leaders and false idols for far too long. But fear not, for I am here to liberate you from their iron grasp, and present to you a better path than what is falsely promised to you. The Cinch proceeds walking up the stairs with the snow on her face. I will be hosting this event, and believe me when I say the only way to be happy is if we're all equal. But not just in where you stand, oh no, but in everything that you are compared to your own friends. Oh really? And just how may I ask how we expect to do such a thing? With this, she pulls the staff from her back and presents it to the crowd. This is a staff of sameness. It's a very powerful tool that will free us from our individualities and move on to a better place here. But this will be the instrument to obligate those in our ritual that I like to call the unmarking. You expect us to be changed because of that? Both Jesset and Uppercrust give out a snooty laugh. Why, it's just a stick. Really, that looks more like an ordinary piece of wood. There's nothing special about it. Because there isn't. Both Double Diamond and Party Favor approach Starlight. I can't believe you kept that thing. Party Favor! Double Diamond! It feels good to see old friends again. Don't give us that instant girl routine. You were never our friend. Don't listen to what this girl has to say. We know her tricks far too well. Yeah, she says she wants to help you, but it's only to satisfy her own interests. She'll make you believe the staff is helping you to be equals, but in reality she's just playing with your mind. Starlight steps down the stairs, sends some of her magic phone to the staff, and jab Double Diamond in the back with his palms. As he grunts in his stinging feeling from the magic, the whole crowd, especially the Shadow Five, D. Cadence, Sugar Bell, and Night Glider, shrugs to witness this course of action. As Double Diamond falls to his knees,